Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon, good afternoon. You know what day it is. It's Thursday, and that's what? Twoc Talk Thursdays. And I'm your girl, Raquel, and this is my ED, the Executive Director, Toy Washington Reynolds. That's her. And we are here once again. So come on in the room. We'll give you a few minutes. Come on in the room. We are still talking about sexual assault and survivors as well of sexual assault. Yeah, this is a conversation. Yeah.
Something a little different today, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we are different. Right?
Yeah, we are. Correct. Yes. Hey, let us know who's here. Talk to us. Talk to us. Talk to us.
Talk to us. Let us know.
Yes. Come on in the room. Yes, come in the room. Come in the room. Come in the room. I see we got two people here. Come in the room. Yes. Come in the room. I see we got. Oh, let me turn this down. Stop. There we go. Let us know who's here. Let us know who's here. I pray that everyone is having an amazing third. Look at me already. The first thing Malik will say is, "Stop touching your hair."
Oh, Malik here already.
Is he here? I know he ain't here yet, but he will be here, and that's what he'll say because he's available today.
So, how was your week?
How was my week? I had a great week. Actually, I was here by myself. That's not indicative. That's not indicative to me having a great week.
That's what made it great.
I was here by myself because Toy and Dash were at a convening, and so they're
the
back
Georgia
today.
Commissioner on Family and Domestic Violence Conference was this past, a few days ago in Jekyll Island, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was in Jekyll Island, and this is busy season for us, y'all. So we're getting ready. We're on the move. As we mentioned, we're working with providing support around sexual assault. So this is going to be a busy few months for me and myself, and for Raquel and Dash and the team at the Healing Project, because we'll be in and out. So
yes, in and out. We'll be going to DC the 1st through the 5th.
Yeah.
Back to DC. We just left DC for UCHA.
Yeah. And we'll be going to the CCA convening
in
around sexual health. No, they haven't told us yet, but it's October the 16th through the 20th. So
okay. Mm-hmm. So we'll be gone again.
We'll be gone again. Yeah. And then we're getting ready for Transgender Awareness Week. Remembrance. TDOR.
It's awareness. You said it right.
Yeah, I did, right?
Yes. Yeah, Transgender Week of Awareness.
I did, right?
Yes.
I'm all over the place, y'all. Yeah, so we're getting ready for that. Yeah, so it's a lot that's coming up and a lot that's going on. So we're excited about that. We're excited about you all being a part of this journey with us. But most importantly, y'all, come close, come close. Those that are in Georgia, for my Black trans women and Black cisgender women that
Black, don't say cisgender, say Black biological women.
No, I'm not saying
that. But it's a thing that's going on that they don't want to. So we're asking.
I understand.
But we're asking them to respect us, so we want to respect them as well. And they'd like to be called just women, not even cis or biological, just women.
So, well, for us Black women,
period.
We'll be having,
all Black women.
We'll be having physical therapy.
Well, actually, we're going to be having, because she's my ED. There's got a lot going on. But as you see at the bottom of the screen, we will be having our PT Wellness Clinic September the 30th through October the 1st. That'll be at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and it'll be right here, 1134 Sonoya Road. That's Suite A5, and that's Tyrone, Georgia, 30290. And we welcome you to come. All women. This is for all women of all experiences. This is for all women.
I ain't say nothing. So one of the things that we really like to do is
we're getting some work done. You know, you got to pull your place together
together. So we've been in here forever, and we're just moving into the other side. So we'll be doing a grand opening at some point It was supposed to be in August of last year. Girl, that's crazy, right?
And
It's
here
been
we
a
are.
year.
Yes, a whole
It's been a year since we've been in this place.
Twoc Healing Project has been here a year. Look at God, made it right on through the year. And there'll be more and more years to come doing the work.
And
Yes.
so one of the things that keep us connected and keep us grounded is that we really focus on self-care. We focus on healing, and we find different ways of doing that. And one of the ways that we really like to do that is by art therapy. Or how many of you know art therapy is healing? How many of you know art therapy is therapeutic? And one of the ways we engage in art therapy here at the Healing Project, when we do a check-in, we sometimes like to use music to kind of display our mood or how we're feeling in that moment. And that's one of the things that we like to do. So I'll bring you in an activity, bring you along that activity with us today. So Raquel, if you was to do a check-in, what song would you say would kind of cement how you feel in this moment?
What song would that be? So the song would be want me to play the song or like we normally do? Or you ask me for the song. So the song would be the song goes, "This is the day that the Lord has made." His name is you know what? So a praise and worship leader years ago made it up. I don't know the first person who created it, but it says, "I will rejoice and be glad in it, because this is the day that the Lord has made, and I, Raquel, will rejoice and be glad in it." And so that's kind of how I feel about. I'm just rejoicing about this day. I made it. Listen, I made it, and if you're watching us, then that means you made it.
So
too.
give us another song, because we know we ain't gonna find it.
Okay, a song that you can find.
I always gotta make the exercises so difficult, y'all. We have check-in supposed to be 15 minutes a day. We end up being in check-in for 45 minutes.
We were not in check-in for 45 minutes. We just started it out. You know, we need to do a breathing. We got to center ourselves. You know, we have to relax ourselves in the space and make sure that our minds and our bodies and our hearts are open to receive how our check-ins are going to go for the morning.
I understand.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So she's been at Dash all day, so I guess it's just my turn. But she's going to be at me on live. Like, how is that happening?
I've not been at Dash all day. But no, y'all, we have so much fun here. I love working with my team. I love working with people that as passionate about the work that we're doing and the resources that we're providing for community. It's a beautiful thing to experience that and share a space with like-minded folks, like-minded leaders in the work. So, yeah. People always get to see the side of the work where we're traveling and going to these different spaces, but they don't get to see the areas of direct service and the work that goes into making sure that community members are connected to services and care. So, just want to give a shout out to Raquel and Dash for being there, being consistent.
It feels good to do the work. It feels good to be able to not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. To be able to, working here, we're able to actually have resources to be able to help, to be able to do linkage to care. If it's something that we don't do here, we have enough relationships with other organizations where we can just make sure that you get the care that you need. And so I'm grateful to be able to do that. Because indeed, you know, people always say pray, right? And I believe in prayer indeed, but there's some things that come along with prayer. And the things that come along with prayer, sometimes you need financial help. Sometimes you need counseling. Sometimes you need, I'm talking about immediate financial help.
It's always an immediate need for a coin.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. And I'm with you when you're right. So, yeah, so we are able to help. And so that is indeed a blessing for me. So, Toy, what would your song be?
I don't know. Let's see what what our viewers say. If
Um,
you guys, what's your go-to song to?
Nobody's talking today.
No one's talking.
What's that about?
What's your go-to song to that's mood inducing, right? That you use to shift your mood. What song? So for me, it would be what song would I use? It's Maze, Frank's featuring Frankie Beverly. We Are One.
Okay.
Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. We Are One. Alexa, play Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. We Are One. We love Alexa over here, y'all. Alexa, volume up. Alexa, volume up. Alexa, volume up. Y'all, this is, you know what? Alexa, volume up. Alexa, volume to the max. There she goes. And the reason why I chose this song is because it's simply, you know,
You sound like shouting over it though. Alexa, volume 8.
She's fine. Let her go to sleep. I'm sick of her. I'm sick of Alexa.
Alexa, stop.
Yeah, I'm sick of Alexa.
So the question is, what would be your go-to song to help you feel better, to help you? Hey, that's Coach Trent. How are you, sir? Oh, and your husband's here.
Hey,
Quentin.
Hey,
Quentin is here. Coach Trent says, hello, ladies. Alexa, what do you say?
She trying it. She's carrying. She is carrying. In the words of Jada Grimillion, she's carrying. Alexa's doing the most today. See what I'm saying? See what she's doing?
Right.
See what she's doing? But yeah, thank you all for coming down with Twoc Thursdays. As we started our conversation last week, we were talking about sexual assault and how it shows up. And one of the questions that we asked was, can trans folk be victims and survivors of sexual assault?
That's the question. Tell me this. What do you guys think? Can trans folk, men and women, be victims of sexual assault? I'm trying to help him with our,
Of course. I do believe that, and we define sexual assault as touching and unwanted touching and unsolicited.
Not just touching. It could be somebody could be trying to show themselves to you, exposing themselves to you. Somebody could be yelling out or saying obscene things. Yeah.
Sending you unwanted pictures, violating your space, forcing themselves into your space in a way, being objectified, being fetishized. And that's one of the things that we are experiencing. We have, as Black trans women, as trans women, period, we have experienced being fetishized, but I don't think we have had that conversation with our transmasculine siblings, our AFAB siblings, around how representation adds to that fetishization and that objectification. Because what we're seeing now is a lot of our brothers and a lot of transmasculine folk and AFAB folk and trans and masculine centered folk are being now objectified. And as we as trans women have had that, we have been dealing with that for quite a while. We already know how to deal with that, but it's nuanced for us, but it's really unfamiliar for our transmasculine siblings. So
Trenton says folks think it doesn't happen to trans men, but it does.
Absolutely, Trent, Coach Trent, it does happen. And what are some of the ways that it shows up from your experience? Well, Trent is one of my close friends, and Trent, like I said, the name does nothing for a coach. Trent is definitely a coach when it comes to lived experiences, when it comes to members in the community. When it comes to TGNC, trans folk in general, the spiritual coach, he's one of those people that you can go to around a myriad of issues, and a go-to person, and his advice and his experiences very sought out within the community. And my question is, Trent, how does that show up sometimes for our trans masculine siblings?
Shan Allen is here. Hi, Shan. Or is it Shan or Chan?
What is it?
Chan Allen. Hey, ladies. And Chan says, yes, it's so true. Trent hasn't responded yet.
Trent hasn't responded yet. So anyone that's able, that's watching, how does sexual assault show up, and how have you been affected by sexual assault, if you have? Or is it something that trans and TGNC folk can be victims of or experience?
Yeah. Well, I honestly believe that, of course, we can be victims of it. In fact, I think it more includes us than not includes us, because it is a great part of our experience. That's where trauma comes from. A lot of times for us has to do with some kind of sense of sexual assault. Chan says, I've experienced it quite often. Chan, if you don't mind telling us, how have you experienced it? What would you, it's Shan. Okay, it's Shan, not Chan. I got it, Shan. I'm pronounced Shan. Shan, how have you experienced it? What has been your experience when it comes to sexual assault? Trent says, a lot of times it comes in ways you speak of. I've gotten pic messages, unwanted sexual advances, etc.
Yeah, because they believe that our bodies are not our own, right? And their autonomy, that decision of us making decisions for ourselves, is totally removed from TGNC folk, unfortunately. And they wonder why we keep having these conversations. We're going to have these conversations until folk realize that we are humans. We have the right to say what happens to us, and we can control what happens to us. We have the autonomy, we have the right to make those decisions.
It's almost as if there are people who believe that we don't get to make that decision, that because we are who we are, if they make any kind of advance toward us, that we have to reciprocate.
That's what we're here
for. That
for.
We have to be okay with it.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Go figure. And God knows we're here for so much more. In fact, that's not what even we are here for at all. We get to make a decision, or like you said, we get to have our own autonomy. We get to make a decision.
We are part of Healing Through Sexual Assault campaign. And one of the things that we talked about at the camp through our video and photo shoot 2 weeks ago, some of our ambassadors shared their narratives around their experiences of sexual assault, and one of the stories was that they were shamed and guilted to believe that no one cared, or no one, they wouldn't even matter if there was to tell someone, that if there was to share that narrative, no one would care.
Yeah, one of the young ladies said that a guy said to her, "You ain't gonna get nobody else. There is nobody else that's going, pay any attention to you. There is nobody else that's going to love you. So you might as well be okay, or be glad that I'm showing you some attention." Go figure. Trenton says, we want a friendship, then it gets turned into something sexual being offered, centered around our body parts. Yeah, absolutely. Then Shan says, nude pictures sent, male showing their genitalia, being told I'm going to get, you know what? Trent says, thank y'all for speaking on this. A lot of us who have experienced this don't really talk about it due to shame and guilt.
And
absolutely.
The stigma.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it earlier. We keep talking about it. Shame and guilt. The shame piece, the guilt and the shame are they to some people they're the same, but they're totally opposite. The guilt is the thing that we have to deal with, knowing that it has happened.
Personal.
Even though we should not carry that guilt, but we do. because we know that it has happened. And once that happened, it's a violation of your space and you don't feel like it's yours anymore. The shame is the piece that everyone else projects. Society projects on us that says that not only did it happen, but it's your fault.
Yeah.
And that's the piece that builds the stigma. And those are the two things that stops us from coming forward around our instances of sexual assault. When whether we are victims or survivors, that particular shame stops us from coming forward and sharing our narrative.
Yeah, a lot of people really don't talk about it. Yeah, that's the truth.
So let me ask this question. I have a whole bunch of questions here, y'all. So y'all bear with me. Just how to identify if you're a victim of sexual assault. One of the questions we ask, have you ever been touched without your permission? Have someone ever exposed themselves to you? Have have you or someone you know personally been impacted by sexual assault?
Shan says, I've been afraid to speak out honestly because some won't believe. Hello. Because some won't believe it, and some think it's okay for it to happen, or that when we are in public spaces, they are seeking this type of attention.
Absolutely. Me being involved in the subculture and community subcultures such as ballroom and pageantry, there is a large objectification that happens, and we willingly submit to that process when we get on the stage. When we get on the stage, we willingly submit to that process. And what we sometimes what we don't know what we're signing up for is that dollar sometimes mean as though that person feels as though they can touch you inappropriately, or they can no give me my dollar in my hand. I don't want all of the other stuff. I mean, because we know entertainment is work for a lot of us in the community. A lot of us as members in the community, we rely on shows and pageantry and ballroom because even though it's entertainment for you all, it's a lifestyle for us. And just because it is a lifestyle, we use our bodies as art and entertainment. That don't give you the right to decide how you want to treat that.
Yeah, absolutely. People feel like they have that, they've got that right because they give you $1.
Yeah.
They get to put it here, or they get to put it up under your, they feel like they get that right because they are the ones.
But is that sexual assault?
It can be. It depends on how the person who's actually receiving
their intentions,
yeah,
right? The intentions of the person that's giving it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The intentions of the person that's giving it.
Shan said recently a guy bought her a drink. Recently a guy bought me a drink in a bar and felt it was okay to touch on me. I gave the drink back to the bartender. Shan says, I love to be admired, but not sexually assaulted or disrespected.
Yeah, there's a fine line. There's a fine line. I got dressed up today because this is how I want to show up. Maybe I was in a bad mood and I wanted to do my hair and my makeup to change my mood, to make that shift, because we control how we show up. And sometimes the way we show up controls how our energy and our attitude that day. And if you're feeling down, sometimes you want to get done up and put your hair together and make yourself feel better.
But you also get to control how someone treats you or doesn't treat you. You get to stop that. Just like you said, Shan, you gave the drink back. Hey, Tyra, welcome again, Tyra.
But at no point does that mean because I'm showing up and my hair is made up and I got my mug on and I got on me a nice little scandal. That does not mean I did this for you. Right. That does not mean I did this for you to violate my space.
Correct. Absolutely. You're correct. Mm-hmm. You're correct. Let's see. She said, absolutely, Toya. Trent says, why does a person dressing up or wanting to look good automatically mean that we want to be treated in that manner?
Because we live in a patriarchal society. And at the end of the day, I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. At the end of the day, a woman has no value if she doesn't have a man attached to her. A woman can be walking down the street and she can be in a suit. If a man so deems necessary and looks at her as an object, he now believes because she's unaccompanied by a male person that she's open call.
Right.
And he has the right. She's open game, as some would say. And but if she's dressed in that same type of way and she has a male accompanying her, it's a different. The tone is different.
Yeah. Trent, what do you feel from a male's perspective? How do you feel from a male's perspective? Shan says, getting dolled up is always for me.
It's for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's about self-care because that's a part of self-care. Taking care of you, making sure that you look your absolute best. That's a part of self-care.
So that one, as trans women, they said that we wouldn't be able to show up the way we do, look the way we do, and live the way we do. So every day we show up is a revolutionary act. We're defying those people that said we would never exist and in a magnitude in which we do.
Yeah, Trent said yes, he's seen that. Yeah, Trent said he's seen that.
You was gonna say something. I'm sorry, I cut you off. I didn't mean to.
It's okay. I forgot. I forgot that quick what I was saying. Yeah, I forgot it. It'll come back to me. Yeah, meant to be said. It'll come back to me.
She forgot. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ladies, for speaking about this. It's really gone on, but it's not fair. And yes, it is taking place every day and everywhere, Shan. It's just like that's how it goes down. And the sad part about it is that people have this thought that they get the right to do what they want to do where sexual assault is concerned, no matter whether it's warranted or not. Because the reality is it's never warranted. And most times it's unwanted.
We talked about, as you see on the screen, the banner is running. He's talking about our physical therapy clinic, which will be September the 30th and October the 1st here at the TWC Healing Space. So we'll be having a welcoming, of course, yoga. We'll be doing belly dancing. How many of you have ever had a desire to experience Reiki? So we'll be doing Reiki, acupuncture, art therapy. We'll be having nutritional workshops, and we'll also be doing by appointments physical therapy assessments. So if you're in the Atlanta area, for all my Black women that are in the Atlanta area that have been victims or survivors of sexual assault, on Saturday, September the 30th and October the 1st, we'll be having our physical therapy wellness clinic. Once again, we'll be doing yoga, belly dancing, Reiki, acupuncture, or if you're interested in signing up, follow me or email me or go to our Facebook and send us a message on Facebook, and we'll definitely get back with you and give you the information. But it's going to be an amazing event, and we want to make sure that we're providing that holistic healing support that's needed for community members, because we know the trauma that's connected to being a victim and a survivor. There's not many spaces where we can have these conversations, as Trent mentioned, as Shan mentioned. There's not a lot of spaces where we have these conversations that's conducive to the healing that's needed. And we want to make sure that we're able to provide that with the physical therapy clinic here. And once again, it's going to be September the 30th and October the 1st here at the healing space.
Welcome to Ebony. Thank you for being here, love. Shan says, some think we as trans women transition for male attention or to entice men. That's not the case for everyone. Absolutely. Thank you for being here, Jade. Jade just came in too. Your daughter and then Jade came in.
So you're going to respond to Shan?
So, Shan, absolutely. That is the truth. That is a misnomer. That is a myth. That is the belief of a lot of men, that they think that we transition for them. Forget about a lot of us transition because it's what we need to do for ourselves. What's going on in our heart and what's going on in our brain, we need to show up that way. And so there's a great amount of us who do it for our own selves. We don't do it to get attention. We don't do it to entice a man. At the end of the day, my belief is that we all want to look and present our best self when we show up, no matter where we show up at. So it's not necessarily done for a man where trans women are concerned. And I'm sure that, or I would hope that the same with trans men. It's not necessarily done for women to gawk over them and sexually assault them. Yeah, that's my belief about that. Greetings and salutations, beautiful ladies, Jade said.
Oh, hey, sister.
And then Ebony said, hey, ladies. Hi, ladies.
Hey.
Hey.
So, Raquel, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Being a woman that's orientated and your spiritual person, because I do believe that we're spirits living a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
How would you speak to that from a spiritual perspective, or because I know it's a conversation that needs to be had in large part in the church or within faith-based communities, but because we know it's not going to really be a conversation, because in order for them to talk about sexual assault, we have to talk about the prefix, which is sex. And that's something that's not celebrated. Even though we know that it takes place, there are still certain religions and certain platforms and certain churches that refuse to have this conversation that's needed for the healing of our community. How would you use your particular platform as a faith-based leader to address that?
For me, the only way that I could address it, or that I do address it, let me say that, right, is reminding people about let's get honest. Let's get honest and let's be clear. We know Adam and Eve, right? And so, of course, Adam and Eve, them getting together, being partners, sex is bound to happen. And so it's almost something that, how dare you say we can't talk about it? Because there would be no church, there would be no ministries except sex took place, because that's how all of us got here. And so we have got to be in a space and place, first and foremost, where we all see our bodies as a temple, right? Mm-hmm. But because we see our bodies as a temple, we get to deem how this temple gets used or not used. And for me, a lot of times I do thank God for my church that my bishop doesn't have any problem about talking about sex, because it's a thing that happens. Like, everybody experiences sex at one time or another, and some people more than others. And so to not talk about it is to say that it's not something that we will handle. You know, I believe because it's not talked about, that's where a lot of rapes come from, because nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. The church should be a space and place where people feel free to come and talk about whatever's ailing them, whatever's going on. The church should be a refuge. Sad that a lot of times different churches are not. I do believe that in 2023 that more churches are getting to the space and place where we can have open dialogue about what's going on. Jade said, exactly, leave me.
Do you believe that a lot of the stigma that's perpetuated within communities around these issues originate from the church?
Absolutely. Yes, I believe, because we won't talk about it, right? Mm-hmm. That's why all the molestation happens in the church, because ain't nobody talking about it. So imagine if we were talking about it and being called on it, then it could possibly stop some of it from actually taking place. Well, you know, that's pastor such and such. You don't want to taint their reputation and that kind of stuff. But what about the child? You know, what about who it happened to? Some of the sexual assaults happening in the church. It's hard for church to talk about what you are doing. Absolutely. It's hard to talk about what the church is actually doing. That's what I was just saying, Trent. If the church talked about it, maybe it would stop it. And if not stop it, it wouldn't happen as much in the church.
There was a comment that I was trying to
get. Jade said, I think it's less about talking about sex, but more so taking accountability for how sex shows up in places of worship. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Shan says it's swept under the rug, especially by church people. But a lot of sexual assault, molestation comes from church members. Absolutely, it does. It does indeed. Trent said Toya took the thought right out of my head. What thought was that?
And we talk about sexual assault and how it's so shunned and how it's something that we don't discuss within the Black community. And but we see how it is ravaging through the Catholic communities and the Catholic Church. And every time we look around, there's more and more incidents of these acts of molestation between the prince, that's the prince, between the pope, oh my God, between the pope and the children, and the priest and children, primarily males, right?
Yep.
And about the prince too. Epstein.
Well, yeah. So we're not going to talk about Harvey Epstein. That's a whole different piece. We're going into more trafficking, but we can talk about that at another time because that's a whole other piece. Because for me, the issue. Oh, well, you got me started on that. The issue for me with sex trafficking is that there's a large undertone of racism and prejudice that exists within sex trafficking. Even though Black folks have been victims and we are victims of sex trafficking, it's harder for us to be able to call that thing sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Because they look at our bodies as objects, and you can't traffic something that wants that. And that's how they feel. When it comes to trans folk, sex trafficking, I really want to really harness in and get a real intentional campaign going on around sex trafficking and how it affects trans folk and how it affects LGBT folks. But it's going to really be hard. I'm going to have to really have the support of the whole community, because in order for us to really get that conversation, we're going to have to cement the fact that we're human. And in order for something to be sex trafficked, you have to human to be sex trafficked. You have to be human, and they don't see our bodies as humans. They don't see us, they don't feel as though we're victims, because our existence warrants the touching, the unwanted groping, warrants us being victims of sexual assault, which makes it impossible for us to be victims of sex trafficking, because sex trafficking victims are people that don't want that. Our existence is screaming for people to touch us. That's why it's hard for us.
But is it our existence, or it's just
to them? That's how they feel.
Yeah.
To them, that's how they feel.
So Shan says it's the enablers that keep it that are keeping the secrets.
Absolutely.
And then Trent says, but I think about our Black family histories when folks were sexually violated by family members, and family would never say anything, so no present day folk are still scared to talk about it. We are taught not to talk about it. Absolutely. It's that legendary saying that says what happens in this house stays in this house. And because of that, that's why trauma exists so heavily in Black families the way that it does, because we've been taught that.
Silence is deadly, but before it becomes deadly, silence causes sicknesses. And that was something that was so powerful that one of the ladies who was sharing their stories around domestic violence at the conference we attended, she said that silence caused sicknesses, which is true. Because you hold that in, that creates trauma, that creates substance use, that creates alcoholism, that creates even more of a thing. Because how many of you know that sex can be a coping thing for some people?
Yeah.
And if you overdo it, it now becomes a habitual thing, and it becomes problematic for some.
It could be coping for insecurities too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, we were taught not to talk about it. It's the truth.
I had a question around, I know I asked it before, but I'm going to continue to ask this, because we asking these questions because while we're having these conversations, we're building out a real robust report that's really going to make sure our community members are represented through the data that we're collecting around this particular issue. But how many of you still have to encounter that individual or that person that assaulted you.
Yeah. Because some people have to on a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Yeah. And how do you do that? Like, how do you, like, that is not
Still say same.
Yeah, that's not my experience. I don't live in New Jersey anymore, so I don't have that experience. Let's see what Jade said. Jade said, I didn't grow up in church, but explored church as an adult. And one of my first experiences with clergy folk, I was in a broken place and didn't realize what was happening. I was swept up on the safety and power of his words and actions. Luckily, a church elder removed me before any other damage could happen.
A person that's put in place to protect you and provide refuge and to take you under their leadership totally abuse that power.
The very ones who's supposed to be the ones that you can go to. But at the end of the day, that right there is a reminder that no matter what the position is, or no matter what position you hold in the church, you're still human. And a lot of times people get put in positions who haven't been healed themselves.
That part.
Yep.
What does healing look like?
Mm-hmm. Healing even starts from the space of realizing you need to be healed. Because it's got to start from somewhere in order for healing to even show up.
But you still have an idea of what healing. Some folk don't know what healing look like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they have not assessed where they are broken.
Well, that goes to the point that a lot of people feel that the brokenness is a right thing because that's what they've always experienced.
But that's what I was taught. So you just exposed something totally. So do you believe that there is that such thing called this word that we use so loosely in the Black community, traditions? Do you believe that some traditions are toxic to our existence?
Absolutely. Yes, 100%. Yes, 100%.
Do you believe that traditions usher in stigma?
We were even taught not to ask, don't you question God. But how else are you going to know except you ask God? Like, you can, that's like saying you can't take the Mercedes to the Mercedes dealer and they tell you what's wrong with it. You have to take it to the Toyota dealer. No. So if I can't ask the creator about situations that only the creator can answer, then who can I ask? Like, I feel like that was one of the biggest misnomers that we were taught growing up in church. You know, or don't you tell on your uncle, don't you mess up your uncle's reputation. What about what he did to me?
Job.
Right. You know, don't you tell on your dad, that's my husband. He didn't mean to do that. I'm going to talk to him about it. Yeah. So, okay, that was Jay. Shan said, see more. Shan said, I do see two of the ones who assaulted me. I have confronted them on how they made me feel due to their actions, but still uncomfortable knowing it happened. I just forgave them. I just forgave them for myself.
You got to. Forgiveness is something that you have to do for you. Whether they accept it or not, that's something you need so you can get to the next level. You don't want to ever give no one that kind of power over you.
Jade said, also, this wasn't at the church I ended up attending and becoming a member at later on. I don't want the saints drawing conclusions. Okay. Oh yeah, you don't want the folk that hearing this think that that's how it goes. But you know what, Jade? It's not about even you protecting them, because the reality is you should have been protected. And thank God for the elder that showed up to actually protect you.
This has been a real interesting conversation. Like I said last week, we'll be having more conversations around this particular issue. But in the meantime, we want to make sure that folks that are in the Atlanta area,
that you come to our wellness clinic.
Black women.
Yes. All black women.
All black women.
All black women.
Yeah.
Yes.
She said I can't say cis and trans, y'all. But we'll have a conversation about that too later on. But that's something that we're really working on, having an intentional bridging the gap conversation. But in the meantime, in between time, folks that are in Atlanta, September the 30th or October the 1st. Join us for our PT Wellness Clinic. It's going to be here at the Healing Project, 1134 Sonoya Road, Tyrone, Georgia, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. We'll be doing yoga, acupuncture, belly dance. We'll be doing physical therapy for victims and survivors. If you want to have a physical exam, because you want to be connected to your body, you want to know what's going on, if any changes have been made, or if there are some areas that you need to provide attention to. We'll be doing thorough. Not me, Dr. Collins is Dr. Laura Collins will be doing thorough exams on Black women's bodies, so we can be connected. And our whole goal at the Healing Project is to provide holistic support that's conducive to healing. Thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing your experiences and your knowledge and your feedback. If you have any questions around future topics, or if there's anything you want to ask on this particular topic, you can reach me at TOI@TWCHealingProject.org.
Or you could reach me at Raquel, that's RAHKELH at TWOCHealingProject.org. And we will, of course, take your questions. We will, of course, take your ideas, topics. You want to talk about topics, like she said. If you want to talk about this topic, like if you want to hear some other topics that you actually would like us to open up dialogue about, we will. And even in this topic, we're still going to be talking about it because it's happening. Hey,
Araya.
Come on.
Araya's in chat with Blind Ambition. Hey, Araya. Araya is my sister, my mentor. She's one of the most brilliant Black trans women. We can't say trans. She's one of the most brilliant Black women you'll ever meet. Correct. I love you, Araya, and thank you for always supporting and pouring into me and the work that we're doing at the Healing Project.
Yes. And Jade said earlier, she said right when I was talking about if we can't go to Creator, who can we go to?
Don't repeat that comment she wrote.
I said if we can't go to the Creator, who can we go to? Yeah. Oh, Jade, she said.
That Jade, baby. That's my sister, and this is what we do all the time.
Araya said hey, and she loves you too.
Yes, I love Araya. Araya is intentional. I love Araya. So thank you all for coming out and just supporting the work that we're doing here at the Healing Project.
Yes, right, thank you for
Why are you calling out? Jade, that's what she, girl.
Thank you all for coming. This has been another Twoc Talk Thursdays. We have had an amazing time. The love and light. Laughter is the key to our healing. Absolutely, Jade. Absolutely. So we want to thank all of you who have come. Thank you, Araya. Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Shan. Thank you, Trent. Thank you, Tyra. The Ebony, thank you for being here. Yeah, I see. I'm coming back up. So Raquel, I'm going to reach out to you. Oh, I'm going to reach out to you. Wonderful, Shan. Yes, you can reach me at Raquel, that's RAHKELH at TWOCHealingProject.org. I know it's been a while since I first reached out, but absolutely, yes. Absolutely. You are more than welcome. And thank all of you. Thank all of you for being here with us, because it is always our intention here at Twoc Talk Thursdays and at the Healing Project that we all get to a space and place that we are healthy, healed, and whole. So have an amazing Thursday. And have a great weekend. I think we have Pride going on this weekend. The Pride AIDS Walk. The AIDS Walk is this weekend.
So who's going to be here? Ashante and Maya?
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
We'll have the AIDS Walk, and Ashante and who?
Maya, right?
Maya. Who's Maya?
My love is like whoa. Ain't that what she said?
I don't know.
That is what she said.
had went into a
That's
hole.
enough. This is what it feels like, Maya. I used to bump Maya CD. Maya was that girl back in the day.
Really?
Maya made me get my first UNC jersey. Maya had the jersey with she did the video with Fabulous, and she had the UNC jersey, and she had it fitted like a body dress.
Oh, okay.
That's when I was Banji cunt.
Oh, when she was Banji cunt.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't say that anymore either, can you?
Well, I mean, you said Banji cunt. I mean, you know, we're not Maya, Lord.
Jay said that's too secular for you.
I guess because I don't know who that is. I don't. Yeah.
I don't think it's age appropriate, Jay.
Yeah. Jade. I don't know nothing about that, but okay.
Sayonara, bonsoir.
Everyone have a great evening. We love you here at Twoc Talk Thursdays. Bye-bye for now. Mwah.